So, unfortunately, we've hit a situation in Division 2 where we have lost ammo. So ammo's unfortunately not continuing in Girt By Sea. For various reasons, you can feel free to reach out to Ammo if you want to know more. But it's the way it is. So on the right's my predictions, by the way. And yes, so we were trying to think of ways to progress here, and a buy was something that makes a lot of sense. However, we don't like buys. We don't like buys. And having ammo be replaced by at least someone who has a little bit of, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of game sense, and can put on a good show. So, as a result, ammo is going to be replaced by the man who just mentioned that there's been some Div 2 situations, and that will be Tricky Mickey will be entering in Div 2 for the remainder of the tournament. Will be eligible to progress if Tricky manages to take 3 games in a row and find himself in the top 8 from here. All power to Tricky Mickey from here. But we're going down this path now where Tricky will be taking over for the remainder. Obviously no handicaps or anything like that. It's just so Ammo was 0-2 in both sets. I need to update this, by the way. I've been slack. But yes, Tricky Mickey will come in and take over and try to at least, provide a game for everyone, give them something to look forward to. We'll get onto it, but I'm glad that the Jake actually gets a set because the man needs to avenge his king from the last set. So we'll get to see how that one happened as well. You can see the comment there. So we'll go through this from the top. Should have put Park Tim in Div 2. I think if we had a Div 3 exit, I think we could have pushed Park Tim up to do that. But thankfully we haven't. So results, quick results. Div 2 quick results. Saws and Yeti, this is one of the first ones played. I did get to watch this one, and I did not realize how good Yeti was, by the way. We had a little bit of drama here as well. A reminder on lobby settings. The reminder on lobby settings. And so we had an unfortunate situation where they played on Canberra, and then the match after Canberra, they forgot to switch back, and one player took out a TC, and then the game ended. And both players were like, I was winning, which is fair enough to them, even though one player had lost their TC. So we unfortunately had to restart, and they played it out, and Saws got the win in the third game in the end. And that was the other thing. It was game 3 as well. So unfortunate, but Saws gets the win, 2-1. Top seed goes 2-0. This set I didn't see at all. It kind of happened very quietly, very quickly, without much warning. So I don't have any comments on Braids and Matthew, and I may need to go back and look at it. Braids being my tournament pick. So, yeah, Braids looks strong. It's going to have ace next week. TDI hit 1700 the other day on the rank ladder. However, why are we playing four legs against people stronger than us? This is a comment that I'm going to repeat to pretty much everyone. And that is, most of us, or in fact, pretty much everyone that's playing, all your elos are based off of Arabia. Few of you comes from Arena and a few of you elsewhere. But largely speaking, your elos come from Arabia. Four Lakes is the closest thing to Arabia that you're going to get in this map pool. So why are you playing Four Lakes? Just don't do it. Pick something else. Even if you're comfortable, even if this is not at TDI, this is just the one I remember that I think it was Zach's home map as well. But yeah, just in general, I just think, well, if someone's elo is 100, 200 points higher, Four Lakes is the most representative map of that. Pick something else. Eight's got over Prawn. I don't know if Prawn's around, but I did not see this one coming. And as I said, Div 2 didn't get to see a lot this week, and I didn't get to see a lot of or any of this set either, but Char Char did get the win over Thrillo, which was quite nice. And then this one I did see, the Jake. Poor the Jake. So, map 1, they played on Passage, and Jeremy managed to sneak a Vil a couple of times. And eventually overwhelmed on the Jake's side of the map. But on Splash Random, they got a largely land map generation with a king. And they also had a Krepos. Both players ended up having their king in their Krepos. Jeremy's 1 TC all in with Catans. Meanwhile, the Jake is booming like crazy with Bengalis. It was like 170 eco units. Something ridiculous. And Jeremy had about 60. But he was able to realize that the king was in the Krepost and had some Liao Daos and Trebs on it. And if you look at the Jake's point of view, he had his stream going, he just didn't realize that the king had ejected. He actually looked at the Vils that were in there with the king and was like, oh, they can go down. I've got too many Vils. And then the defeated sign came up. And that was that. So do keep an eye on Splash Random for those weird regicide starts. You can get a double regicide. Yeah, you have a win con against the Jake Copenhagen, maybe. Or maybe not. Tricky. Maybe now that he's aware, he's not going to think. Because Splash Random, it's a standard win condition. Ignore what the two top players in Div 1 just did before us. Standard win con. But you could get Regicide. You could get Defend the Wonder. And as I was halfway through saying, you could get double Regicide as well. I don't know how far that can go, but there was a generation that spawned with two kings, like 2 TCs, 2 kings each, and you have to lose both kings. Not just one to lose. So keep an eye on it. It's not something you expect, but when it happens, the king is called Regicide Game. Give us explode. You want exploding kings, you reckon? You can send your king in and go crazy. Maybe one day, Bananasaurus. For now, yeah, just keep an eye on the settings and keep an eye on what you start with on Splash Random. It's hectic for a reason. The match we saw just before was pretty tame, actually. Just an Ox, Cart, Scout, and 3 Vills and a lot of water in the middle. One of the more tamer starts. Unfortunately, I didn't see either of these two sets. Did get the blue prediction correct. And I do believe blue is going to push the top end very hard. So got unlucky against Saws in week 1. But will push this tournament very hard afterwards. I didn't see Pancho losing to Chipmunk in both ways. As in, I didn't watch it and I didn't expect it. And yes, the Hexy ammo sets. I think Hexy went into the set realizing I don't play water. I don't want to play water. And decided to douche twice on Golden Swamp and Four Lakes, and it worked. So that's our Division 2, Week 2. I'll quickly go through what I'm expecting to see in Week 3. At the top, I think this is... I noticed these ones are centered. Hang on. And these ones are not centered. The other ones are. It's doing my head in. There we go. Match of the rounds, these two at the top. So if we go to our ladder, 4 players are undefeated. Yeah, that checks out. 4 players are undefeated. And yeah, these are the 4 ones to watch. I'm backing Saws in over Zach, and I'll be backing Braids in over Ace. Char and Blue. Now this is just as big a game, I think. Really keen to see how this one plays out. I think Char-Char's game times have not worked for me yet, so I'm going to make sure I get a chance to cast Char-Char's game this week. Or hopefully it's at a time where someone can cast it live. That will be good, and I'd like to do this set as well. I think there's some here that are, I think, important. Some people need to get some live sets going so we can cover everyone. Make sure everyone gets their moment in the sun. Yep. Yeti and Hexy. So Yeti played very well against Saws and pushed him very deep. And I'm thinking that... I mean, I don't really know about Hexy. So Hexy lost week 1 to Zach, which is a strong player. And then we didn't really see a lot of long form stuff. We saw 2 douches. One of them probably shouldn't have worked based on the way certain aspects of it was going. I think Ammo was just a bit flustered by it. And yeah, I know that Yeti... Look, Yeti is improving. What can I say? Yeti's improving. TDI and Jeremy, this will be good. Yeah, this should be a very good one. It'll be interesting to see how these map drafts go for this set. But I'll back TDI in. I think he's had his slip up week. I think TDI will be back and starting to think about this now. I'm also going to back Matthew to beat Chipmunk. I do need to go back and see how Chipmunk knocked off Pancho. Need to see if there's actually a water player in there. But I know Matthew is a good water player, so I think he'll get the job done here. Is Braids the favourite? Braids, in my eyes, Braids is the favourite, yes. I think it could be, from what we've seen, I'm going to throw seven names into this at the moment. I think this might be the top 7 at the moment. Blue's 9th. I'm going to go with these 7 names at the moment. I think our winner will come from those 7. Just narrowing it down a little bit. I know that's still, oh my God, 7. Wow, you picked 7 out of 18. Really good job. What a prediction. But yeah, Braids is my number 1 pick here. But yeah, I think any of those 7 are quite strong and can do it. Prawn and Thrillo. What have I got? 2-0 for Prawn. Yeah, I know, right, Finchy? I know. It's hilarious. Yeah, saying someone that's been winning is going to keep winning, and then they're eventually going to get to a point where they play each other, and then they'll win. And then one of them will win. Wow. What a prediction. Yeah. Braids looks good so far. And that's why I want to see if Ace is legit. How legit is this Ace situation here? Yeah, exactly, Robo. Best insights, best analysis on this stream. Remember, what we've got to think about here is this. Oh, sorry, it's a best of 3 right now. But to go deep, you're going to have to play more than 2-3 maps. You're going to have to be able to play on a bigger variety of maps. You won't be able to force in and win ties off Golden Swamp and Four Lakes if that's what you want. Or force wins off of, say, Aquarina and Passage because you want to play the water aspect. It's going to have to be a bit more... You're going to need a bit more variety. You're going to have to go deeper into your drafts. You're going to have to be a little bit more versatile as, yeah, we're going to lose, in the best of 5s, you'll lose 2 more civs to admin bans. So just 1 extra water civ may disappear from your draft. You're going to need to draft 3 extra civs each. It does add a little bit more to it. So it's a little bit harder to work out from here. Oh, who's actually going to match up well against someone else on these maps, and yeah, how are they going to take it when they need to go a little bit deeper and they can't just, maybe you don't get your Woo Persians like we got here, or you don't get to play Dravidians on Nomad because there's just that extra 2 bans that happen and the extra 2 picks that happen, and yeah, lots to look at. These last 2 sets. So I'm going to back Slaters in. I want to see Slaters get a win. Slaters, good Div 2 demo in week 1. I haven't seen many demos come through from week 2. So give people some time. I may do, maybe do a stream tomorrow. I'll see what I can find, collate some. but there hasn't been as many. And then our super sub Tricky's coming in against Jake. And I just that Jake's going to avenge his king. His Bengali king will be avenged. He'll get those 2 wins. Tricky's coming in, not having seen the maps, subbing in for. Actually, I've realised now that it's ruined the Butchos on in this situation. So it's just going to say Tricky Mickey everywhere now instead, so that the Butchos actually does carry over. Tricky's seen the maps. It's just about, yeah, how he plays. I think Tricky would have been in Div 3, right at the top of Div 3 if he signed up originally. But he didn't. And he's just, taken advantage of an unfortunate situation. Not a situation we like, but I think as far as a super sub goes, probably, I think there may have been a few more questions raised if I subbed in. Let's put it that way. So I'm glad that Tricky's put his hand up to come in and fill this void, because I don't like buys. Buys aren't nice. Buys aren't nice. The Jake as well, like, I think he's better off. It's better off getting a game and winning a game, or losing, either way. Or, playing someone that maybe is a little bit weaker, etc. And same goes for the next two opponents as well, because you don't know who they're going to run into. Maybe they find their way into the top 8 after this. We don't know. So it's good. And yes, Tricky's going to be eligible to win prizes as well. So if he can land a few demos, he's going to have to find a hotkey for it, I've heard. Or work out what the hotkey is for it. Make a few demos and blow some things up. Never made a demo in your career. That's brilliant. Well, I hope to see at least one from you. Just don't run them into buildings. Unless you're going to send like 20 into a castle on Water Nomad. But otherwise, look, the worst thing you can do, I think, is queue a demo, leave it in the dock, and forget about it. But you never know. Maybe you queue a demo, leave it in the dock, and then an opportune moment comes around where some archers got a little bit lazy and walk on water for a bit. And then you win a little demo raft. So there's my Div 2 Week 3 predictions. I don't think any set has been scheduled just yet. Let's jump to, oh look, Div 1. Division 1. Oh no, done it again. Okay. Well, I know what we've just seen, but we'll just talk to Week 2 for now. And Robo very much entered this tournament by defeating Soxy. Good 2-1 victory, that one. We had... Trying to remember the maps now. I think we had Pacific Islands in there. 4 lakes. And the last one deceives me at the moment as to which map it was. But Yes. Good win from Robo, which took him to 2-0 and got him to meet Noz in week 3 after Noz also knocked off Timber. So they were both undefeated before their set before. And I haven't done too bad with the other two results as well. Tullen beat Kiwi, and then Kados got a 2-1 over Bananasaurus. I think Bananasaurus, though, he's a bit down at the moment. Was down after week 1, but Robo, as we're seeing, by the way, Robo is absolutely flying. And Bananasaurus definitely looked better against Kados. Took a map, splash random game 3, just missed the third ball. So, never know. Maybe this week is Bananasaurus' week against Kiwi. No, he didn't take a game. No, wrong side, Finchy. Results, predictions. I predicted he'd take a game off Robo. He didn't take a game off Robo. You're still sick, man. That's unfortunate. Hopefully you get better soon. I am predicting you to actually win this week, by the way. So, good luck. And I'm also backing Timber over Kados. What have we got? I'm just looking at some of the stuff that's been mentioned. I think, was that set tonight? Yes, it is. Timber Kados is at 8 p.m. tonight. So I might be back for that one. I can't see myself going for 3 more hours and then into that. Gonna have to eat at some point. Soxy Tullen. I think Soxy will get the win there, and then I'll just quietly put my prediction up on this one. I know we just seen the set, but there it was. That's what I am predicting there. Unfortunately, yeah, so if you go 0-3, it kind of gets to a point where the games don't really get easier after that. So, because you're gonna you can't just keep playing the same people, right? You're gonna have to play up. 0-3 can't make it in Div 1. Oh, you're out in the sense that you can't hit 4th. Yeah, okay. Yes, tricky. So you've got schedule up until from today to Sunday. So chat to Jake, and any time between now and Sunday. Given we've got to schedule an Oz draft set, maybe we should wait, or you should wait for that to be confirmed until scheduling that, or obviously a day that we know that we're not playing Oz draft, because Oz draft kind of relies on like 8 of us to be present at the one moment. So yeah, may need a little bit of time on that one. Yeah, Oz draft has to get priority for sure, just because of how many people it takes to get together, and that seems like a pretty hard thing to do at the moment. So I don't think you want me playing on land maps, Tricky, but that's all good. Just before we go on to Div 3, which we haven't done. Firstly, shout out Bananasaurus, put it in the chat there. Took a game off a 2K in a hyper random tourney. Very good. So I can see the splash random splash random stuff is helping you out there in that case, because same script, just our script's just got a little bit of water thrown into it at all times. But also the shout outs go to our top 2, our 23, 2400 boys, for their efforts in TTL last night. They both played, I think it's a round of 64 last night was the official term, but Yeah, they both had some fun sets. I won't. Oh, I don't know if I can spoil them or not. I don't think anyone's. I feel like everyone is either watching it or knows the results anyway. But yeah, feel free to check out. I think Pancho was one that was streaming Noz's last night. Berber's Burgers was streaming Soxy. They did overlap. So hard to watch them both. And there was Ozdraft last night as well. So lots was going on Sunday night. But yes, shout out to those two boys. They both did very well. Noz was playing against Moray, and Soxy had Jordan, who's just one of the best players in the world. So there's that. And yes, Salted Pepper was also doing Noz's set. So there's a few options there to go back and watch some streams if VODs are up. But yeah, well done to those two. And yeah, as you see Nightbot mention every now and then, I do enjoy casting. I do want to branch out with the casting I do. So if you're in any tournaments, doesn't have to be the high elo ones. It can be those mid elo ones as well, low elo ones, whatever tournaments you're in. Especially, or namely after Girt By Sea is done, or as it turns into finals, I think I'd like to, cast more. It'll be good. Division 3. Time for some Div 3 and results. Nessie let me down. That's unfortunate. Oh, actually, sorry. Pancho. Why is my name Powerbug? The bug part of it, I actually can't explain. I don't know where the bug part of it came from. But the power part comes from being a Port Adelaide fan in the AFL. And yeah, Port Adelaide Power. So that's that part. And then I genuinely can't remember, but it was thrown on me when I was like, I want to say 12, and like signing up to fantasy football, and then someone gave me that name and it just stuck, and I've run with it ever since. So there's the backstory. For that one. Div 3. Nessie Pleco. I was really excited for this set, and I was half watching what was going on. Oh, Finchy, I'm the opposite of a powerlifter. Unless 7 kilo dumbbells are powerlifting. I'm not a powerlifter. Yeah, Poor Castles. So Pleco had this, I'm going to go with lucky moment. I think there was more, but the one I vividly remember, Nessie's trying to drop a castle in range of a TC, but just before he goes to place the castle, he runs under that TC with camels. So Pleco garrisons the TC, and then the TC shoots down the castle. I think it was automatic. That's why I think it's lucky. I think it was automatic. It wasn't a deliberate, he didn't right click it. But it also had to mean like the attack delay, the attack reload was like in sync as well. Like he hadn't just been shooting at camels at the same time. Like the timing had to just be perfect, or in Nessie's case, awful. So very unfortunate, but very good for Pleco. That was on Golden Swamp, and I don't remember the other map that was played, but Pleco's done the job, and that'll be a big win, because that's important to get this top seeding. Now, Div 3 is probably a little bit more volatile, feels like the wrong word, but it is just a top 8 single knockout, and there is only 12, so should be able to get in with 2 wins. Maybe the odd 1-win person will get in with high bush ults. I'm not 100% sure there, but still getting top, getting near the top should be good, and just means you end up playing someone at the bottom end. Yeah, but yes, Nessie, Pleco, they're both going to be pushing. They both will definitely believe they can win this thing. I don't think Nessie will believe he's done based off that result. I think he'll still be a chance. Metro and QP. I heard some stories about this one. I heard that a king died in mysterious circumstances. In this set. I think the game was all over anyway. So I think it was just a transport on Copenhagen. QP was down to just the king. I think that everything else had been deleted, but the transport was just there with the king until it got sunk. So yes, that's funny, but yes, Metro gets the win, 2-1. And that's my tournament pick, Metro, in bold there. So he goes to 2-0 and gets to play Pleco next round. Unfortunately, we had scheduling issues for Logan Josh. So he's had to forfeit that game. You've learned nothing, Pancho. What do you mean you've learned nothing? Keita gets the win. Sorry, that threw me. Keita gets the win over Logan Josh. Yeah, Logan Josh, unfortunately, scheduling issues. I think moving house. Had to find time for some Oz draft as well. So just very unfortunate, but he assured me he's going to hopefully be back this week. Hopefully not have too many issues. And be good to go for week 3. Magoo beat Finchy. Did we expect anything different there? I didn't. So Magoo gets the win. Finchy, good luck against Squid this week. Thank you for playing. As long as you're having some fun, you're learning about a few of these maps. That's what's good. And yeah, start getting a few more games against people that you may have a better chance against. Will be good. Spare Hands did not beat Kill Benji. Kill Benji, the mini Fred. If Yeti is mini Fred, then Kill Benji is mini Fred. Because there were Aztec monks on show for Benji, and they went to work on Golden Swamp. I was backing in. Spare Hands. I thought the builds were good. Thought the ability was there. And unfortunately, Benji got the win eventually on Four Lakes to take it. And so Spare Hands did better on Aquarina. So it was a lot more polished there and got the win over Benji on that map. So that was good. And I think this set was actually very good. Buggy and Squid. Eventually, it went the other way to what I was expecting. So Squid's got it. Squid has not won, but Squid got very close. So Squid did get the win on Aquarina. And then I think they played Copenhagen and Splash Random. Splash Random, they ended up with a 3TC start on like their own largish islands. And both players were like 50, 60 vils before they clicked up to Feudal Age. Hilarious stuff. Really, really good. Really, really good. Good set, that one. Good game, that one. That was Japanese, Portuguese, those two on that map. Towers, Fishboom, both players making 20 Dark Age fishing ships. How often do you see that? So you've just got this like 80 eco unit boom before they click up. So, very good. Maps for Girt By Sea. So a lot of them are just the ranked ladder maps. And the other ones we've taken from previous tournaments. So, if I just get the list up for everyone to see. So Nomad is just ladder version. Migration's taken from, I think TTL had it last year. I think. Or actually, maybe this was even taken from Aussie Ascension at the start of the year because... yeah, it's just a very smaller island, no back ponds sort of thing. Four Lakes is TTL, so that's there, so it's got less fish than your ladder version that's in ranked at the moment. Water Nomad's ranked, Passage is ranked, Pacific Islands is TTL. Taken. Canberra we took from Sudden Disaster. I think that's T-West Tournament, which is a sudden death tournament, and Canberra is played on sudden death, so it's all good. Aquarina is the ladder version, which is still getting updates every now and then. I think Golden Swamp's also ladder version. Copenhagen was played in Aussie Ascension. I don't know where it was taken from before that. And Splash Random is also known as Zetnus's Hyper Random Water script. So if you do get the Zetnus Hyper Random map pack and you load the water version, ours is very similar. We've just standardized the res items. So a tree is a tree. It's got 150 wood. Well, unless it's the different types of trees, they get 200, etc. Gold tiles, 800, etc. So that's the little difference that we've got compared to the standard script in his map pack. And Zetnus was nice enough to edit that for us. So there's a little rundown on where the maps came from. Metro and Pleco. Match of the round. I think I just read they might be playing tonight. Pleco and I hope to play our set tonight. Hopefully can confirm time soon. I like that. Get around that. It'll be a big one. Keita and Nessie. Oh no, I hope Keita's not in the chat. I've predicted Nessie to get the win here in a close one. Keita's strong. Look, there's only 12 players here, and I'm at risk of doing the same thing I just did for Div 2. But I think it's close enough where I do like what I've seen from the top 5 so far. I like it enough to think that any of those 5 from here, I believe, have got the ability to just turn it up from here, turn it up a notch, and go on and win it. Now, I probably think that these two are a little bit ahead of the others. Yes, did get a set win for free, but I did predict that she would get that set win anyway. So I'm just going to pretend that they actually played it and she did win. But look, Keita plays water maps as well. Keita's the one that does understand water play at this level more than the others. But yes, I think it's Metro Pleco. They seem the two most accomplished so far. They may be a little bit ahead of the next three, but I think the next three can do it. I need to see these two a little bit more as well, because they could. I just don't know enough at the moment. And obviously QP took a match off Metro, so need to see what that's like. See what he's like as well. Magoob and Benji. I'm going to back Magoob in here to stay on the winners list after last week's 2-0. It was the only set I predicted correctly, by the way. Go me. As you can see, my hit rate, really, really good. Lots of greens here, so you can take these predictions to the bank. Well, I just said I wanted to see more of Logan Josh and QP. Well, they're playing each other. So, one, you can really take this prediction with a grain of salt. And two, I really hope they schedule at a time where I can cast this. So that would be nice. Quick thing I just remembered as well. My usual Wednesday unavailability is not the case this week. It's just swapped with a Friday unavailability. So I will be around on Wednesday night. Won't be around on Friday night. So if you want me to cast, don't schedule Friday night this week. Buggy and spare hands. I'm going to go spare hands to come back and take this one after, I think, getting done by a unique player in Benji last week. Buggy's actually not completely standard either. I think Buggy's got the ability to mix things up, but I'll back spare hands in 3. And look, if Squid remembers where the villager button is, Squid would be in Div 2. But Squid gets to 60, 70 vils and then stops making vils. And that makes the window of winning very small, because the reds runs out. But I'm going to back Squid over Finchy here.